Basic premise for the start of the game is that you find a phone in a laundrette in the East End of London. And it's through your discovering, exploring the phone that you begin to unravel a mystery. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Russ Harding. I'm the studio director at Maze Theory. I've been in the industry for about 25 years making video games, mainly focused on immersive experiences, working at studios like Sony and Lego in the past. And now our focus at Maze is really, creating immersive stories.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Uy, and I'm one of the co-founders for Kaigan Games. I also serve as the lead designer for the company, and over the past 4 years, we've been working on this interactive, found phone game experiences, starting with Sarah is Missing and Simulacra, where we combine the elements of live footages and phone UI to tell really unique stories. And yep, here we are.
So I guess Lonely Assassins came about really through the work that we've been doing with Doctor Who and the BBC. We'd spent quite a bit of time working on The Edge of Time, working through lots of story scenarios. And one of the story scenarios that came out of that really lended itself to finding a different medium. And we felt that it'd be really, really interesting to revisit one of the most iconic, I suppose, Doctor Who episodes, Blink, and think now in the future, how would you portray that, a continuation from that episode? I think working with Gavin Collinson, the writer, Gavin has some really strong ideas for that. So we wanted to explore a new format to take that out on. We're really intrigued by mobile, thinking about how we might tell immersive stories. And I guess, that's where we came across Kaigon's work, and it being of such a great quality and such an immersive experience. We felt it would be a perfect fit with the use of the weeping angels.
Yeah, I think when the project came to our attention, we were we were interested in bringing the medium to different different IPs. We did flirt with the idea of it'd be cool to bring this story to TV and all these things. And when the project came along, we were like, oh my God, this is Doctor Who. I mean, we just can't say no to this. And when we looked at the original development, we looked at the early script, and it just fit. I mean, The Lonely Assassins is one of the best episodes of Doctor Who Blink, the best episode of Doctor Who of all time, and we just can't let this opportunity go, and we just jumped right in. Yeah.
I think it'd be really good to start with just having a look at the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, really excited to talk about the game.
It's them, Sal. I know it.
The basis of the game was building on one of the most iconic episodes of Doctor Who, Blink. And the thought was really, what would happen if you went back to a well-known location in that series?
Lawrence, at last. This isn't Lawrence, which means Lawrence is still missing. You're the right person for the job. The job being, find Lawrence.
And what's happened to some of the people now in present day.
Petranella goes to hell.
I can remember first seeing the trailer, because I think when you're a developer, you're obviously working in development before marketing starts to sort of communicate your game. And I just remember the excitement of actually, that really captures the essence of how the game feels.
Making a trailer for this kind of game has always been tricky, and how do we sell that excitement? How do we sell that dread, that fear, and things like that? And it just came true.
Basic premise for the start of the game is that you find a phone in a laundrette in the East End of London. And it's through your discovering, exploring the phone that you begin to unravel a mystery. Whose phone it is, firstly, and also what has happened to that person, and also their relationship with the past to the story.
Yeah, I got something to mention about this opening. I think one thing that's really funny that nobody realizes that the Doctor Who is a TV show, and a lot of the aspect ratios is like widescreen. And to come up with an intro for portrait is and also other elements that there's portrait format is quite. It just gets your head thinking a bit. You know, how do we create a Doctor Who intro that's on portrait view? And we have to look back at a lot of the past intros to sort of devise something like this. Yeah. So just a small little tidbit here.
Yeah. I think Richard's music's great for this here as well. Richard Wilkinson's music, so it's a great composition.
Self-destruct sequence. So normally for the found phone games, we want to start really strong and we want to get the players like really excited. This was actually in the original script that Gavin gave. So we sort of adapted it and add the UI elements, add this sort of unlocking sequence. Just give a little bit more interactivity, and also to really establish like what's happening right now. I think like a lot of the visuals like you see right now, Osgood OS, loading up, what's going on here. I think this sequence is trying to set up what's about to happen as well, and not just something for the player to do early on.
I think this introduction by Ingrid Oliver is brilliant. I think bringing back Petranella was such a good creative decision by Gavin.
Lawrence, at last. Oh, the way you've been avoiding my calls, anyone would think I was your mother. This isn't your mother, by the way. Well, unless there's been a horrendous mix-up with a time fracture. But I think you're not Lawrence, which means Lawrence is still missing.
So Osgood is a character that appeared in, I suppose, more recent times in Doctor Who. She worked for an organisation known as UNIT. Her story expands into other sort of sub-stories of Doctor Who. But Osgood has always been a very fun, intelligent character, and she felt really right to engage with for Lonely Assassins. It's to be the person that you kind of interact with the most.
Okay, I've not got long, so just listen. I've a funny feeling an old friend of mine made sure this phone fell into your hands, which means you're the right person for the job. The job being, find Lawrence. I can't stress how important that is. Think yellow highlighter and circled in red several times. Yes, that important. Right, my friends call me Petranella. You can call me Osgood. I'm an investigator, looking into the odd, the unexplained, anything on Earth or even beyond. And I've only just realised what a massive remit that is. No wonder I need your help. You and me are going to sift through clues, codes, and face some terrifying enemies. Sound like fun? Look, gotta go. But I'll be in touch, because you and me, we've got a game.
So we're now going to a conversation with Osgood. As you can see, the one in blue is Osgood speaking to you. So internally we call this responses. So the character you're talking to is responding, and in the white one, these are the player's choices. You have like a limit of maybe 3 to 5 lines of dialogue before you can respond to something, to keep that conversation as close to a real conversation as possible. Not too fast, but not too slow as well. We want that pace. We don't want players to be drowned in text and just read all the time. So we want to keep that interactivity, that interactiveness of typing on the phone going, and we want the players to respond as much as possible. So it's very scary because we tend, there's a real danger of us falling into a trap of too much words, too much talking. So we want to keep interactivity something that's ongoing, and something that there's always something for the player to do at all times. Yeah
I think it's a really natural interface, and I think that's what's so sticky about these sort of games is that it's really intuitive to use, and it's quite compelling to keep moving through the text and the options that you have, the choices that you can make, and the way that she reacts to those is quite interesting. Like play through.
There's also like some role play elements as well in the choices. So like you can you can be nice to Osgood. You can be a little bit cheeky with her, and she will respond accordingly. I think having the choice to interact with a well-known Doctor Who character like that, like you can finally talk to them, you can interact with them, and I think that is something that games do. Games is about interactivity and bringing that level, that choice for the player to talk to a Doctor Who character. I think that itself might be fun to some people. I think I think for me it's like when I look at Osgood, it's like, oh, what will she say if I tell her something like this? What will she say if I think that creative process of us devising the dialogue also it's we want the dialogue to be fun as well, just by talking to Osgood. What if I say this to her? How will she react? I think that alone have some value in it.
Yeah, I think Osgood's character really lends herself to that as well. She's a great character to engage with.
Mm-hmm.
And I've played it many times, and I've played a lot of the alternate text as well. So it's quite intriguing to keep going back through and just trying slightly different conversations with her.
Mm-hmm. So if you can see this part, she's actually trying to cue you into using the game's core mechanics, and I think having Osgood hijack the phone in the very beginning sets up the fact that this phone has a feature which you don't normally have in a normal phone. This is something that Osgood injected into the app, into the phone itself. As you can see, there's a Osgood app right there, and she's going to explain how do you actually play this game, and this is one of the features that you're going to see soon. I think these are real photos of Londoners going about their daily lives, and also to sort of lead into whose phone is it, and this is not a typical Londoner. This is somebody very important. Yep. This scanning thing is something that we added later on. Originally, we actually had a button that you press and you just get a clue straight away. But we were like, hey, this is a Doctor Who game. There is something that happens in Doctor Who that's kind of similar, which is the sonic screwdriver, and the Doctor waves a sonic screwdriver at stuff, and we want to see can we bring that element in? Can we make this a bit more Doctor Who-y? And we had that scanning feature mimic the actions of using a sonic screwdriver, and that's why you have that sort of mechanic. Yeah.
I think the way that you're really participating with her in finding and discovering things on the phone and feeling like a detective yourself is really sort of compelling to keep moving through the content.
We want to make sure that that Osgood is always that anchor in the game, and if the player is lost or the player is unsure of what to do, we want that interaction. We want that codependency feeling of between Osgood and the player. Osgood needs you for something, and you need Osgood for something. So that back and forth thing is something that we constantly we want to maintain that as the core driving force of the game. This mystery, what about him? What about Lawrence? Who is he? And so on and so forth. The players can form their own opinion as well, and Osgood has her own opinion as well. And this is something that you can discuss with her as the game goes on.
Yeah, I think it's important that you build a relationship actually over time with Osgood, which I think later on plays out in some of the more sort of tense moments. Some of them.
Yeah. Another thing also I feel that is really important is to keep in mind that there might be some players who play this game that is very new to the Doctor Who universe as well. Again, Osgood being the character fitting for this, she has a lot of knowledge about the Doctor. She has a lot of knowledge in the universe, and she is also that character that it kind of makes sense that this is somebody that you ask for if you're not really sure what's going on. And later parts in the game, you can actually ask her more about the Doctor Who universe if you choose to. A simple question is, who is the doctor? A question like that can be really obvious to a veteran Whovian, but for newer players, they might need that extra information, and we do have that element in. And if you skip those parts, you don't really lose the plot or anything like that, but it's just nice to know, just nice to be inclusive for people who are very new to this universe.
Yeah, I think the great thing about Doctor Who is it's not just it's not sci-fi, it's not adventure. It's sort of like crosses a lot of different genres, and it's quite open to audiences. So I think you can come into this content without any pre knowledge of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I think personally I jumped around episodes a lot, and I still find myself like following relatively easy. Yep. This is this is a new element that we add to the game. So this is actually one of the biggest mystery in the game. Like, what is this? You're watching like this wobbly, glitchy part, right? And there's, Osgood mentioned there's some sort of corruption in the game, and you find this corruption relatively early as well. This plays into a bigger part of the game and into what's going on. You see articles about Western Drumlins, you hear about stories of this, statues and or whatnot. That corruption thing, this is the new element that we want to introduce to this game and this universe, and what and also the story as well. One of the concepts that we latched onto is an image of an angel becomes an angel, and that really stuck with us for a long time. We were like, what does it really mean? I mean, the show did explore it, but when you see it happen, we were like, hey, that's something the angel can do. What if? How can we without spoiling too much, how can we bring that aspect of what the angel's abilities into the mobile phone experience itself? And I think that kind of spirals into this unique way of interacting with the angels itself. How would an angel choose to embed itself into the phone? How do the angels choose to present itself to the player through a phone itself? And after watching that episode, of an angel, using that ability, we came up with a way of, I think this is how it makes sense for the angel to interact with the players through the phone, and this is how we can present the angels in the phone using that concept.
Aisha, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. I was going to phone you. I was a unit operative for 5 years. I think I can handle a spooky old house.
Just don't...
She was going to say, don't blink.
Who is that? Who are you?
Uh-oh, wrong question.
What's the right question?
Where are you?
Yeah, I guess that kind of leaves us on a bit of a cliffhanger. But and we've got quite a way to go actually through the game. But you've started to see how those sort of like mechanics of utilizing the sort of phone elements sort of build.
After watching multiple angel-related episodes, I think there were two things that we really want to bring in. I think the first thing is that timey-wimey feel of the angels. Like every episode of this angel has this sort of timey-wimey thing where something in the past will affect something in the future, things like that. We really want to bring that as close to the show as possible. And the second thing that we want to bring in is, of course, that don't blink feeling of the angels as well. So we wanted to make sure there is a sequence in the game where you actually feel like that, where you actually feel like, oh my God, the angels are coming, and what you're gonna do about it, that kind of thing. So I think remembering to nail those two things, that is our biggest priority in making this game come to life.
Yeah, I think Kaigan have done an amazing job, and I think you've really, really sort of embraced the brief and the feel for the product. And it's been a really great to collaborate, especially in these times where everyone's remote. It feels like it's been seamless. So, and it's been, it was phenomenal to work with the cast, and it's kind of a weird mix between a film production or a TV show production, gaming and immersive storytelling on mobile. So it's been a really incredible mix.
Yeah, it's an absolute blast to work on this.
So yeah, I suppose final thank yous to the festival for allowing us this opportunity to talk about the game, but also a reminder that the game will be available on Apple App Store, Google Play, and on Steam from the 19th of March.
Yeah, cannot wait. Yeah, really excited for this game to get to the hands of players.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, guys.